Hi, boys and girls. It's time to make another craft. I'm Mrs. Birr from the Kimball Library. And what do you think we're going to be doing today? The weather's getting warmer, and in a few days, we will be celebrating spring. And spring means new growth, lots of green, warm weather, things that we like to look at and feel around us. So we're happy to celebrate spring. And because of that, I thought we could make a froggy, or we could even call it a spring peeper. That's what they call them. The earliest frogs that come and into the ponds, even in the ice. And peep, you'll hear them early at night or in the morning. They'll be peeping, making a high sound. You'll know it when you hear it. The spring peepers. And of course this one has a tongue for bug catching. But I thought that would be fun to make. And green too, for spring. So let's get started. First we need a tissue paper roll. And we're going to just cover that with our paper. So we need to lay it on the paper at the very end of the paper and roll it until it's covered. And then we'll kind of have an idea of where we should cut it. I just take a little pencil and draw a line so that I know where to cut it. That's what we do. Then we'll roll it onto our tube, and we should be ready to start our frog's body. And you'll see we might not need all of that paper that we've cut, so we can cut off a little bit more if we want to. And I'm going to do just that. Got too much paper here. And then take our glue and we'll put it on the edge, or we can run it right on our tube, all the way around our tube, so that our paper will stick. And then we lay it right there and roll it. Try to get it nice and even. And we might have to put a little bit more paste too on the edge, just so that it'll stick. Make sure you do that. So your tube is all covered. So now we have the body ready for our frog, right here. And it should stay nice in place. And then I'm going to trim it a little bit so that the edges are even with the tissue paper roll. That's easy to do. Your scissor knows right where to go. All the way around the edge. There. Next we'll have to do his face. And his face is really, as you can see, one big oval, and then it comes down a little bit, and then two big eyes sticking up. That's all it is. So let's make one with a piece of paper. And of course, you notice I'm making mine with green for frogs. So I'm going to make, I'll do it in this heavy paper. I'm going to make a round circle. I'm going to put his eyes on, then make the big oval down for his chin. It's not perfect, that's for sure. And his face might look a little strange. Look at that. Not perfect. But if I put two big eyes there, he'll look more like a frog. He really will. Look, he almost looks like a frog now. And then I'll cut him out. After we cut out our face, then we're just going to attach it on the side of our tube that we've just made. That's easy. And here I am, right to the end of my frog's face. Right there. He's got something in his mouth already. And I'm going to do it on the side, not where we've glued. We'll call that the back. So this is a nice clean side, and we'll put the face right on there, on the top. So we just put a little bit of glue down around his mouth, and then we'll attach it to the front of our tube. It has to sit a little bit too, because glue takes a little bit to dry, as you know. So that's what it will be looking like so far. Funny frog. Next, we'll just make his legs and his hands. And so I think how I'll do that is to trace my fingers a little bit, not too big. And then I'll leave a little skinny part at the bottom so that I can put him inside the tube. His feet will stick out. So let's see if I can do little fingers. Just around the edge, just around the edge. Look at that. Can you see it? That looks like a big frog's foot. I need 2 of them. So I think I'll fold my paper and I'll cut 2 at the same time. Then I don't have to draw it again. I have a thin piece at the bottom and my long fingers for his toes. And there we are. I have 2 of them. And that's where my fingers were too. 2 feet. So we need to put glue on the feet, on the bottom, just on the edge, enough so that we can put it inside our tube and it will stick. Let's see how that works. I'm just going to put one on one side and fold his foot up a little bit. So it will stick. We can even use tape too. If the glue isn't sticking too well for us, then we can always add a new piece of tape on top of our glue. And there's another foot too. 2 feet. Oh, that one fell right out. They take a few minutes to glue, to dry. I think that I'm going to have to use a piece of tape to make it really stick. We'll try one more time. Maybe it will work. There. We'll just let it sit there and dry while I do his arms. There are his feet and his head. Let's hope he dries. And we'll do the same thing for our arms. Just have to make two. I think I'll make a different color green this time for his arms. And I need to make two, so I'll do the same thing. 2 pieces of paper. And then I'll trace my fingers on the edge, just a little bit, to make those fingers. And then I'll cut them out. All right. There they are. This one I'm going to make a little smaller. There. So we have 2 hands, and we'll put the glue on the end again, on each side. Not each side, but each piece. And let's see if his arms will stick. I think they will. Okay. There he is, another frog. 2 frogs. I think they're related. You notice one has a long tongue and the other doesn't. So we need to do a tongue just for that frog. And I'm going to use a piece of red paper. A long piece. Not too big, but we're going to curl it up, so it needs to be a little longer. Long enough to curl, because we'll just roll it up. So you know that tongue will come out quickly to catch those flies and all the bugs. And then we'll put that on too. Let's see. And that goes right at his mouth. Oh, wrong one. Right at his mouth, just like that. There he is. Another froggy. And his leg is still unstuck. It isn't quite as tight as I would like it. So I'm going to get a nice piece of tape and put it there. But that's how we put them together. There he is. Beep, beep, beep. Little frogs. I've got some froggy books too, or books of green. Green for spring. A green garden. Another green animal. Look at that, the turtle. All about frogs. Green animals. There are many too. And here's a book about green. Green trees. So many green vegetables. A fun book to look at. Enjoy the spring. Enjoy the frogs and the spring peepers. Bye-bye. See you next time.